She's good at doing status ailments. Ridge. Keep this dude in mind. Hi there, Estelle and Joshua. Oh, hi, Ridge. Ridge Racer, even. It looks like your training is over, isn't it? I'm humbled to know that you two are the youngest ever to pass the Bracer exam. I look forward to working with you in the same capacity. Ourselves as well. I have to get back to work now, but if there's something you don't understand, give me a holler. Holla, holla, holla! Radius is alright. Nothing too special, but he's not bad. There are no current job listings. It's a shame. Job style.
Hurry up and come on!
It's Luke!
Wait for me, Luke!
And Pat. They're basically the Ryu and Henri of this game.
Huh? Oh, it's you two.
Oh, great. It's Estelle.
Hi there, Joshua. Okay, you little twerp. What's with the, oh great, it's Estelle remark? And what's the big hurry? How about telling us where you're headed? You're not thinking about wandering out of town alone, are you? The roads are full of monsters, I hope you know.
You're such a pest, Estelle. Don't you know there's no room for girls to be sticking their big fat noses in boys' business? Quit acting like you're a bracer, you wannabe.
How wrong you are, Luke. How incredibly wrong. You're more wrong than a fool who thinks there's better tasting milk in Literal than the milk that comes from the Purcell farm.
What? No way! You're full of it, Estelle.
In fact, as of just a few minutes ago, we qualified to become real bracers. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Real bracers!
More like bracers in training, really. Don't think you should be getting on your high horse just yet, Estelle. Now a high pony, on the other hand.
Quit being a killjoy!
Wow, you two are great! I'm so happy for the both of you.
I will find you, smart guy.
Oh, Pat, you're such a good little boy. Unlike that smart aleck and cynical brat you call a friend.
This isn't fair! I was supposed to become a bracer first! I can accept that Joshua became a bracer before me. But getting passed by the likes of Estelle?
What's the likes of Estelle supposed to mean? Just so you know, you can't even be a bracer until you're 16 years old. Get it? Only mature people are allowed. And that means no little kids who are still going to Sunday school.
I don't know how I should put this, Estelle, but Sunday school is dying to have you back.
You better watch out, Estelle. I'm going to go train at my secret base, and before you know it, I'm going to be a bracer too. Come on, Pat, let's go!
All right. I'm coming.
I will find you, smart
See you
guy.
later, Estelle. Bye, Joshua.
That boy, Luke, he's always trying to pick a fight with me. I wonder if he just plain hates me or something.
Rather, I think it's the exact opposite.
What do you mean by that?
Opposite style.
Don't worry about it. It's just a boy thing. At any rate, what do you think Luke meant when he said secret base? I don't know why, but somehow it makes me a bit curious.
I know exactly what you mean. A secret base sounds really intriguing. The pure heart of a young child can be so inspiring at times.
That's not really what I mean by curious.
I heard Stephen Hasty is curious. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Of course you want to come in here to buy the newspaper.
Hey there, Estelle and Joshua. How can I help you? Did you manage to become bracers?
You bet we did. You know, maybe I should have you start calling me Hyper Bracer Estelle from now on.
By the way, Mr. Renan, did the liberal news come in?
Yeah, it came in a little afternoon.
Don't brush me off like that, you two. Oh, whatever. I'll take one copy then.
Making copies.
That comes to 100 mira, please.
And we get to keep the other 400 that we were given. Purchase Liberal News Issue 1.
I know my dad always buys a copy of this magazine, but does it really sell that well?
It sure does. The Liberal News has an excellent reporter and camerawoman who have done a great job reporting the latest and most reliable news.
Oh, keep those two in mind. Those are great characters. Ew.
They are even supposed to have a running story related to Queen Alicia's birthday celebration. One more thing before you go. This gift is my way of saying congratulations. It's a free sample item I received with my shipment of goods, but don't hold the free part against me.
Recipe book! I mean, of course there's cooking in this game. It's a big part of the series.
What's this supposed to be for? There's a ton of blank pages.
It's a recipe book, isn't it?
You got it. When you get hurt fighting, if you just limit yourself to healing bombs all the time, it's going to cut pretty deep into your wallets. This is where a recipe book comes into play. If you eat food to recover your strength instead, it's basically free. Assuming you have all the ingredients anyway. So, if you eat something new, write down what's in it, and you'll have lots of recipes in no time. So, how about we try this out? Go ahead and eat this cookie, Estelle.
See, maple cookie.
Well, I have made it a personal rule to never turn down sweets.
Ate maple cookie. Learned maple cookie recipes. So basically you have to use a food item to learn the recipe for it.
Basically, all you have to do is eat the food to learn the recipe. It's as simple as that.
I just freaking said that! You bastage!
As you're traveling about, you should eat whatever food you come across that you haven't had an opportunity to try before.
Well, that sounds pretty convenient.
It's not that I don't like cooking and all, it's just that I never seem to get any better. I'd sure love to be able to increase my repertoire and really be able to shock my dad's taste buds for once in my life.
She's not a good cook. What? Kinda like the Lancer.
That's the spirit. And in passing, if you're in need of any ingredients, I'd be delighted to service your cooking needs.
You really know how to solicit your customers, Mr. Renan.
Thank you for the recipe book. We'll put it to good use.
Sure will. Eating the recommended dish at restaurants or using to-go meals adds the recipe to the recipe book. By selecting the recipe book, all learned recipes will be displayed. As long as the necessary ingredients are available, the food can be made. There are two types of food: sit-down meals, which must be eaten on the spot, and to-go meals, which can be carried as items. Sit-down meals cannot be carried as items. Ingredients used for cooking can be bought at a store or acquired from monsters. So there's a certain recipe that you can use later on to make a lot of money, which we'll be doing. By the way, Mr. Renan, how did you know that today was our last day of training? In a certain sense, both you and Joshua are like celebrities here in Rolent. I tend to hear a lot from customers coming through here. I shouldn't have expected anything less from Rolent. The grapevine around here is seriously something to be reckoned with. No kidding. The women here especially love to gossip. I hear Stephen Hasty likes to gossip. That's what I heard. So you can buy ingredients if you want. I wouldn't worry too much about that just yet. Alright, good times. Recipe book. A book used to record the recipes of eaten food. Food can also be made from recipes if you have the right ingredients. That's it! Stephen Hasty has come up with a new recipe. We have maple cookie. Takes fresh milk, milled flour, and maple sugar, of which we have none. A readily made aromatic cookie. It's great for snacks. It heals 80 HP. Fun fact. And we have Liberal News Issue 1. SC 1202. That's Septian calendar, I suppose. The Queen's birthday is approaching. The 60th anniversary preparations are underway. Featured story, The Queen's 60th is nigh, a milestone anniversary. The half-year countdown to Her Majesty Queen Alicia's 60th birthday celebration has begun. This has been a banner year for Her Royal Highness, sparking more anticipation than this event has ever seen before. But we must not forget, too, that this year is the 10th since the 100 Days' War, a period of intense turmoil for all of Liberl. As we celebrate, let us also reflect on the tragedies of the past, like the mustard truck incident, so that we may refrain from ever reliving them in the future. We have been afforded this luxury of hindsight, and we must use it to its fullest. Making preparations. Preparation underway in the Royal City. Main Street is filled with the bustle of men and women furiously preparing decor and merchandise for the upcoming festivities, and developing new products specifically for sale during the celebration. The competition is truly cutthroat. Ren's rebuttal to Ronald's frustration has made Ronald twice as angry. That's it! Come up with a new recipe! I yearn for my customers. Taste buds to sing with delight, says Ms. Sorbet, local ice cream purveyor who deals her wares in the city's East Block. Sadly, her new menu will remain a mystery to us until the day of the festival. We'll be seeing her much later, by the way. As the population grows, more and more businesses pop up all around me. But all that means is more customers, especially at festival time. So I'm certainly not complaining like John, she exclaims with a sly smile. Ms. Sorbet seems to have a few tricks up her sleeve, so to all our competitors we say watch out. Who shall stand and who shall fall? Prior to the festival, Her Majesty will be hosting our annual martial arts competition in the Royal Arena. This fiercely competitive tournament is always a big hit, with some avid spectators even regarding it as the day's main event. Which team will come out on top? Society. Where are we at in society today? Burglaries across the Bose region. According to our sources, the Bose region has seen a string of burglaries over the last several days. Lots of burglar tools have been used, and the people have had enough. The Royal Army Border Patrol stationed at the Hocken Gate has been stepping up efforts to apprehend the groups of criminals responsible for these acts, and anyone with information on their identities is urged to contact the Border Patrol immediately. Travel. Finding the perfect getaway. The Kingfisher Inn, along the beautiful Valeria Lakeshore, is more popular than ever, following a visit from the women of the Royal City. Won't you come and fish with us too? We'll be going there eventually. Of course, much like the later games, there's like a big deal with like reading books and stuff in this game and newspapers and such. It's all good times. Burglar tools style. I'm so glad that Renon's store has finally got on track. It seems as though it has become much easier to get products since he started having them brought in by airliner. Ever since the first orbments were invented, this world has become a much easier place to live in. So typically, like with the later games, NPC dialogue usually changes after every event. do 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 do. Ba 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 ba. We're not loving it. Really not. How you doing, sir? Good afternoon. Hey there, Estelle and Joshua. So, how'd your training go? That emblem on your chest means... I shouldn't have expected anything less from Cassius's kids. But we're still bracers in training. I see, but, well... I knew you were going to have to give up your part-time job here sooner or later. Yes, I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, I guess Joshua worked here part-time. Not anymore. Don't sweat it. I knew it'd happen eventually when I hired you on. It's a shame, though. There's hardly anyone out there with as good of an eye for weapons as you. Weapons style. But that's the path you've chosen. So get out there and show us what you're made of. Good times. Joshua, I'm sad to see you go, but I knew this was going to happen someday, so there's no use crying over it like a little bitch. Good time. We got money. Lots and lots of money. Do-do-do-do. So money's pretty limited here, but we can go ahead and start upgrading equipment. File rod for Estelle. A battle staff reinforced with metal rings at each end. And we're broke. This is so bad. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend converting Sepith into money. Unless you really, really need it. Because we need that for upgrading our slots and such. Do-do-do, pile rod. Do. Attack up by 4. You gotta appreciate that. Okay. No, what are you doing? You're ruining my life! Hello there, Joshua and Estelle. Stella, listen to this. I finally became a bracer. My goodness, is that true? And Joshua too? Yes, ma'am, that's right. Congratulations to the both of you. You did wonderfully. But one thing, Estelle. You shouldn't be proud just because you became a bracer. This is just the starting point. I understand that. The two of you will experience a lot of new things as bracers. And I hope that I can be proud of the fact that this is the path you chose in the coming years. But enough about my feelings. Please work hard and good luck. Good luck, have fun. I think we can get a book from someone at this point. Hey, you're doing good work so far. Ah, what's that emblem on your chests? Congratulations, you two. So you finally became bracers, huh? Thanks. Estelle, you are way too proud of yourself. Why do you always have to ruin the moment, Joshua? I should be this happy because I earned it. You should at least let me bask in the glory for a minute. Sometimes you can just be so... But Estelle, now that you become a bracer, you're going to have to get over your little, problem with orbital arts. Man, you too? Why do you have to go and spoil my day by saying things like that? If you have any other business needs, don't forget to stop by. Stop by style. Alright, Rolent's two newest bracers. If you have any other business needs, don't forget to stop by. Because stopping by is awesome. I will tell you what. Oh, they have more quartz now. So you could get some if you want, but it's probably a better I need to save up your sepith for now to open up your slots, because we'll be finding quartz all around. The orbments we see today are built using the structure of a clock. Therefore, even old technicians such as myself can tinker with some of their parts. When it comes to these quartz circuits, however, I'm a bit out of my league. I don't know who invented these things, but they're extremely complicated little machines. That's too bad. Machine style. I've confessed to her several times since this morning, but I can't get her to accept my love. It doesn't seem like she hates me or anything. What am I doing wrong? Oh, these two. I'm so distressed. He's my type, and I'd like to accept his proposal, but this place is not my ideal situation. Is the place or whatever really that important? Of course it is. This could be the memory of a lifetime. Lifetime style. It may be the place that comes to my mind when I'm an old grandma and lying on my deathbed. I just can't accept an alleyway like this as being that place. I guess this type of thing can only be understood by those involved. He has passionately confessed his love to me several times, but the situation isn't right. The situation report. It'd be great if he'd just say it to me in a bit more romantic place. Say it to my face! Okay. How you doing, sir? Mr. Fate? Uni should be back any time now, but... That's odd of her not to be home by now. Estelle, Joshua, if you see my Uni, could you tell her to come home? Tell me what to do? She's never broken curfew before, but... I'm worried because she's still just a little girl. Little girl style. That reminds me, it seems like she's always hanging out with Pat and Luke, but... She really doesn't have to play around with those boys all the time.
Pardon?
Oh, it's nothing. I was just thinking out loud. Kinda reminds me of Ryu, Henri, and Momo. Do-do-do-do-do. How you doing? It's almost time for my husband to come home from work. I better get to work on preparing dinner. Dinner. I've already started dinner for the night. I'm making plenty, so hopefully my husband will be coming home today. Staying overnight in the mine and working through the night is pretty common for him. That's a shame. I love my daddy so much. He's so strong and he's always nice to me. Well, that's exciting. Hey, Estelle and Joshua, is it true that you really became bracers? You're always one of the first to hear everything, aren't you, Claire? This is just what I expected. I saw the potential in you both way back. Yup, yup. Yup, yup, yup. You're going to get out there and earn a lot of success, right? I like Scheherazad's adult charm, but I'm partial to both you and Joshua. Huh. I'll take that as a compliment. Compliment style. The drama is finally gonna begin. I'm so excited. Oh boy.
Estelle, let's head home. We should let Dad know that we qualified as junior bracers.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Meh. Bracer style. Like that time Newfie failed to become a bracer, causing him to get extremely salty. Just when I thought Luke had come home, he took off out the door again. I told the boy that dinner was almost ready, too. That boy is always running around like his pants are on fire. He just can't sit still for 2 minutes. That's a shame. Liar, liar, pants on fire, even. My son, Pat, has been gone since this morning. I will find you, smart guy. I hope he's not getting into any trouble with Luke. I'm worried about what he's up to. Thanks to the airliners in recent days, even Rolent has been able to get a good selection of books. And many more books. And thanks to that, I find myself compelled to buy a new one each time I head to the store. But I get yelled at by my wife for getting so many, so maybe I should cut back a bit. I've only got the first chapter of this novel, so if you want, I'll give it to you. Carnelia Chapter 1! Well, I think you could actually buy that later on if you miss it here. I just can't find the book I'm looking for. That's too bad. Ah! Carnelia Chapter 1. The Imperial Chronicle, Part 1 of a fictional novel published in Liberl. The Imperial Chronicle. I stood there upright in front of the revolving door, scuffing the heels of my boots against the ground. Pulling slightly on the collar of my trench coat, I dropped my chin and gazed at my partial reflection in the curved glass. Aside from my short-cropped hair, I wore a modest-looking double-breasted leather raincoat and a pair of special-order steel-reinforced boots, both of which at first glance appeared to be the most common of common apparel. Like something Stephen Hasty would wear. Yet they were in fact much more than the naked eye could detect. My ordinary average appearance, it was of just as much importance today as it had been on any other day in times past. Not far off, the sound of footfalls echoed rhythmically like the steady beat of a pendulum swinging back and forth, as the throngs of those coming and going moved quickly along the cobblestone avenue, enveloped and tinged silver by the morning mist. At times, the calling voice of a street peddler disrupted the steady flow, but as soon as the hawking cry faded away, it would resume its course. Each morning that I found myself setting foot in the Imperial City, I also found my surroundings to be unchanged and stained by the same somber tone of gray. At least it wasn't Mario staining Kelly Clarkson again, so that'd be horrible. Snatching up a magazine from the underarm of a street vendor, I tossed a few Mira into the left hand, poised expectantly behind his back. The Imperial Chronicle, the magazine I read so often that even the ink bleeds were familiar. Roughly flipping open its cover, I scanned the headlines along the top of its monochrome pages. Then suddenly my breath caught in my throat. At the very bottom of the local news page, I found those letters. That sequence of characters which I had not heard nor seen since the time of that life-changing incident. It was a major incident, I'm pretty sure. My eyes instantly gravitated to the spot, and for a time remained fixated. Ein Selnet, which will be an important name moving forward. The very meaning of those letters became lost to my senses as I stood motionless, my gaze fixed on the same line of text until it all seemed to coalesce into a single blotch of ink. After a few seconds of blank comprehension, my vision settled and I wrenched my eyes to the beginning of the article. As I began to read, my memories verged on a single point in my past, then slowly started to run in reverse, heading for that faithful event 3 years prior when the name was first introduced to me. It was on an afternoon all those years ago, on a day not unlike this one, where the capital was overshadowed by its typical gloomy aura. I was a little younger than now, a 22-year-old boy who stood silently in front of the boutique door as usual, double-checking his appearance before lightly treading over to Mick's Imperial Factory. It was on this day that it had been arranged for me to receive a new job from Mick, the shop owner himself. Although he was a drab, middle-aged man, I, being the ornament enthusiast I was, had found myself as one of his few regular customers. I headed down a dank alleyway, and after passing through a partially rotted wooden gate, I could see the soft glow of the flickering orbital light just outside the entrance of the factory, whose structure was halfway below street level. I first began receiving jobs from Mick, about the time when dissension began to occur in society over the 100 Days' War. It was during this period that relations between the Liberl Kingdom and the Empire were at their worst, and the importance of ordnance had become almost non-existent. Conspiring with underground elements and planning a smuggling operation, Mick made me out to be his accomplice in crime. Burglar tools, even. For the job which I received by his hand was none other than that of the courier. Being nothing more than a commoner in my teens at the time, I met him in a juvie devoid of any connections in life besides. I naturally jumped at the opportunity without a moment's hesitation. Yet even after relations with LeBurl had returned to some degree of normalcy, I realized I was in no mood to give up my specialty, which focused mainly on the delivery of stolen goods. The reason being, there was no job out there which could bring in a kind of mirror this one did. With an unrefined and inconspicuous appearance, I had countless times before hidden items of various sorts in my hat and trousers, and made my way hither and thither between the borders of these neighboring nations. And though to my delight, my wallet had become increasingly laden with a bounty of monetary rewards, I'd routinely changed my alias as a precautionary measure, so much in fact that these false names had built up into quite a list over the last few years. I had been known as Phil, the frivolous, Rooney, the trickster, and even Chris, the coward. Those are terrible names, sir. However, Mick had always called me by one name, Toby. Toby's the name of one of my cats. This was the identity I had used for my initial job, and the one I liked above all the others. So this, along with a lot of the other novels you can read in these games, are worth reading because they typically have to do with stuff that happens in later games. So it's kind of cool how they set that up. But anywho, we're gonna move on here. There's a kitty! Ida. It's such a warm day today, isn't it? It looks like we'll be able to take a nice afternoon nap. Arl. Meow, meow, meow. Keep this cat in mind, it'll be important later on for a certain quest. Meow style. Abin bar. Not quite Abin time, but it'll have to do for now. Seems like somehow I'll be able to get the lumber I wanted. Simon, our Septian purchases are going to go through fine, right? Since I spared no effort in coming all the way to Rolent, failure is not an option. Fun. Let's see, I made contact with some people at the Malga mine, and we're working out a few business details at the moment. But please, wait just a little longer. Really? You're completely finished with your training? Yay! We finally finished, Alyssa! I am officially a real bracer! Well, congratulations, Estelle. You've always wanted to be a bracer ever since you were a kid, haven't you, Estelle? But don't bracers have a lot of dangerous jobs? Yeah, something like that. Joshua, Estelle, don't overdo it, and watch out for each other. Estelle has this tendency to get in over her head. That's a very good observation, Elisa. The only problem is that Estelle doesn't realize this herself. I'm standing right here, you guys. Joshua and I just care about you, Estelle. That's all. Anyway, don't get too full of yourself and end up getting hurt, okay? Okay. Yeah. Trent. He's eating as always. Get used to that. Munch. I better get back to the mine before the boss figures out I ditched work. You can't ditch work, sir. Come on now. It looks like that female merchant over there came from Bose. Not only does she seem smart, but she's extremely attractive as well. Then again, she'd probably never give me the time of day. Her accent is a little different, though. Accent style. So we might as well get the wholesome pasta. Ate wholesome pasta. Learned wholesome pasta recipe. That's it! I've come up with a new recipe. Oh, that's how you do a shortcut to the recipes. Wholesome pasta! Takes olive oil, 5 milled flowers, and beast flesh. A heaping dish of pasta with strips of meat. A manly meal. Heals 100 HP to everybody. So it's actually a sit-down meal, so you can't keep it in your inventory. So keep that in mind. And you can get some of these recipes, but I wouldn't worry about it right now. We'll worry more about that when we have more money to work with. Radford. My son-in-law is still half a man when it comes to this business. This isn't an easy job, and it takes a good 2 to 3 years to become a real woodsman. That's a shame. Woodsman style. In my opinion, there are 2 kinds of enjoyment that come from food. Put bluntly, they are eating and cooking. But I think my passion for cooking outweighs the other. Of course I enjoy eating delicious food as well. Damn right you do. You pussy and a cunt. Tabitha. Well, Estelle, I haven't seen you around here for a while. I was just here earlier. What are you talking about? It's been some time since you graduated from Sunday school, right? Did you say hi to Elisa? I sure did. She started helping around here not too long ago. Please visit her if you have some time. She's been wanting to see you. I see her every time I come in. What's your problem, man? Your people? Screwing around again. Just like Newfie. A beautiful sound as always. I love the toll of this tower bell. This bell does more than tell you the time. It's also marking Rolent's history. Indeed it is. Not that we can do anything up there, but still. Ba-na-na-na-na. It seems like it's going to take a bit longer for me to get the lumber together for this order. I must work hard to get my father-in-law to acknowledge me, for my wife's sake. Wife style. But Hotel Rolent. Do-do-do-do. How you doing, sir? We got an unusual guest staying here at the moment. He appears to be a student from the Genus Royal Academy. I've heard she's come here to study about Rolent. Oh, keep her in mind. She will be very, very important. Yeah, you.
Whew. I finally arrived here in Rolent. I think the first thing I'm going to do is have a look around.
It's Limp Bizkit fucking up your town.
Whew. I think the first thing...
But yeah, keep her in mind. She'll be very important. Moving forward. Chapel! Estelle, you seem to be rather cheerful today. Did something wonderful happen in your life? Yes, I guess you could say that. Joyous occasions are indeed a wonderful thing. But it is at times when things go well that we should gird up our loins for the trials that lie ahead. O goddess Adios of the firmament, please guide these unseasoned youths. Yeah, Adios is basically God. For this world, if you didn't know. I'm a newly assigned sister to this chapel. I was recently transferred from the royal city to Rolent. This place is surrounded by greenery, and everyone in town is so kind. I think I'm going to enjoy it here. Father Divine is a bit strict, but he is someone I can respect a lot, although he's very bad at EDF 4.1. That's a shame. Do 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 do. Alrighty then. What do we got going on around here? Mayor's residence. The mayor. Mayo? We don't have any mayo. Right, Lita? The missus sometimes helps me with my jobs around the house. On top of that, she treats me like I'm a part of the family. She even took me out to eat the other day at Hardee's. I couldn't be happier. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Lita takes care of all the housework, but I feel a little awkward about it and often end up doing some of it myself. I'm sure it's because I used to do it all myself before coming to live at this house. It appears like I'm taking Lita's job away, so I wonder if I'm causing her any trouble. You're making her job easier, basically.
Compared to other cities, Rolent is certainly rural with no distinct features.
Feature style.
However, I love this city.
So do I.
There's just something warm and inviting about Rolent.
I love Rolent.
I want to build a city that gives importance to that atmosphere. There's just something warm and inviting about Rolent. I want to build a city.
Yeah. Settle down, sir. Keep your pants on. There's a safe here. Keep that in mind. It'll be very important later. Do 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 do. Oh yeah. I know there's nothing up here, but I always like checking each room just for the fun of it. It makes me feel good inside. It really does. It makes me feel all warm and toasty. You know what I'm talking about, dude? So, fun fact, you can go back in the sewer if you want. There's not really any reason to, but also if you notice, those kids seem to be missing. Well, that'll come into play. I didn't mean to go into there. That was kind of a perverted thing to do.
Congratulations! You two are now official members of the Bracer Guild.
Yeah.
From now on, I'm going to be passing jobs out to you like candy.
Bring it on, is all I have to say.
I look forward to working with the guild.
Guild style. No jobs. So essentially, we want to go home. Let's go home.